Hi everyone. I'm just getting a few things set up here like always because I never prepare. Okay, that's not true. How are y'all doing today? Welcome. It's gonna be another short stream, but there's a few things that happened since I last streamed that I kind of want to talk about, and I think they're very interesting. Um, yeah, you guys like my thumbnail, Quailcom? I'm literally thinking about I'm not even joking, but like I literally want a Quailcom t-shirt printed. Even if it's just for myself. It's just a big old Quailcom logo with a freaking over-exaggerated anime quail printed on it. I think that would be amazing. Anyway, welcome guys and girls. Wasn't this supposed to be right? So you know what? I realized something. Even on my week off, I can't help but search crap up on my phone. However, doing these streams like this feels like a vacation compared to making videos. I actually hate making videos, everyone. That might be surprising. I'm probably one of the few YouTubers that actually hates doing YouTube. But yeah, I don't really like doing YouTube. All right. All right. So let's jump right in. So this is the big piece of news. To give everyone, I'm just gonna assume that everyone wasn't or didn't watch my, well, it's almost 2 hour long stream, right? 2 hour long stream I did, I think last Friday, where I talked about a file we found. We found a file. Oh, that's not what I wanted to click. Oh, that's a little bright. I'm sorry if this is too bright. It might not be too bad. So dang it, sorry. So we found a file in SteamOS 3 related to Deckard, right? And it talked about these reporting thermals, right? For all these different cores in a integrated SoC built into a Deckard. And what I went on to say is, especially this one right here, but not just this one, not this core, but also this core, these CPUSS and GPUSS. These are also cores that give away that it's a Qualcomm. Now I'm saying it right, a Qualcomm chip. So yeah, that was like already, and I mentioned that this is a 12 core processor, which the XR2 is not a 12 core processor, first of all, which kind of gave me the hint that maybe Valve was working on a custom-made SoC for their headset, right? The Deckard. And then literally, what was last night? Last night was Tuesday night. Tuesday night, this thing was announced. Now, first of all, this thing right here, I had to do some studying on it because when it first came out, I got super excited. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is big. And it still is big, but it might not be as obviously big for VR right away. So Qualcomm actually worked together with Microsoft and Valve Software. Let me pull up Anshel Sag, I hope I said your name right, actually did a fantastic overview of what happened. So I'm just going to read his tweets instead of the press release. So Qualcomm, Valve Software, and Microsoft worked together to do this new thing called Wi-Fi Dual Station. This feature, according to Qualcomm, actually makes latency reductions of up to 4 times over existing Wi-Fi solutions. And it's literally a partnership, again, between Valve, Qualcomm, and Microsoft. Microsoft, I don't want to get too much into it. I do not want to get too much into it. Because, again, this is not really... I actually messaged a Valve employee. Because there was a lot of confusion when this news first came out. Or didn't I... There was a lot of confusion, right? I was like, is this for VR? So I found out that Fletcher Dunn, He is an engineer at Valve. Actually worked on this project, this dual station. And I asked him if it could be used for high bandwidth applications, and he said this. He has no idea. Basically, the way it works is this dual station activates all the bands at once in a device, and by doing that, the actual device can choose which band receives the first packet of internet to have a more reliable game stream or gaming experience, and they kind of throw out all the rest of the packets that get there after the first one arrives. But yeah, he mentions that a video streaming a different strategy might be better. But despite that, this feature might not be obvious right away for VR. You cannot just look at Qualcomm working together with Valve when, again, last week we saw that they're working together on something here for some sort of chip. It was just crazy when I saw this last night, right? It's just like one of those it's just one of those things. It's like another piece is slowly coming together. We see proof of them working together. And while this new thing does benefit Valve, especially for their games, for their online multiplayer games like Dota 2 and stuff, this benefits probably more Microsoft and Qualcomm. So, you know, usually when you're working together with a partner, you're two big corporations, right? You gotta give, and in exchange for the giving, you also can take later on. So this feels a lot like more giving going on, but it's still very cool. All right, how many cores in XR2? I believe it's 8 cores. It's 8 cores. Oh, I'm glad you brought that up. That's another thing. So this new feature, So this new feature, I'm so glad you brought that up. See, this is why having a chat is useful, because I don't forget things that I want to bring up. This new feature is currently going to be supported only on Fast Connect 6900 gaming systems. What is Fast Connect 6900? Well, we can actually click right here and see their the Qualcomm chip products. And Fast Connect 6900 is this one. It's the one that has Wi-Fi 6E, basically, which is the 6 GHz connection. XR2 actually only has a Fast Connect 6800. So it doesn't, from my understanding, it doesn't have Wi-Fi 6E, and cannot actually have this feature if it was deemed usable for wireless streaming of PC VR. So again, Valve worked on this. It only works on Fast Connect 6900. Valve has some sort of internal custom chip in the works for Deckard. I think it's very likely that this SoC is the SoC we'll probably see built into every Deckard. That is the speculation I have come to based upon these things. I think it makes a lot of sense. I think it makes a lot of sense. How many tabs do I have? I don't have that many tabs today. Oh, God, you know, can everyone just real quick in the chat, if you're in the chat watching, please @ Guy Godin and just say thank you, because he is always just around at the perfect time. So Guy Godin's the guy who makes Virtual Desktop, and he is such a blessing. It's more to get lower latency in multiplayer games. Yeah. Yeah, I was just explaining that, because again, I was saying that last night I got really excited because there was not much information on this, and I saw the words Valve and Qualcomm together. I'm like, oh, there it is. But yeah, I did educate people a little bit on that. But thank you for. I'm so thankful for you. Seriously, he is amazing. He is literally like, think about what he's done for PCVR. Imagine like if imagine if like Virtual Desktop did not exist for Quest users. Like that would have been pretty detrimental for PCVR during those months before Oculus pulled the AirLink shenanigan. All right, here's another thing I think is very important as we're talking about chips. Lisa Su, if you don't know who Lisa Su is, well, she's the CEO of AMD, right? Oh, that's another thing. So yeah, this is only coming as well. This new feature is also only coming to AMD platforms, no Intel platforms. So we have AMD and Valve and Snapdragon is the only things that are going to support this feature, and probably a lot of other features coming soon. Anyway, all right, back to this. So yeah, Lisa Su says the chip shortage is likely to end next year. The chip shortage has been a pain in the butt for anyone that's been, well, it's been a pain button just in general, not just for electronics or like technology, but also even the car industry is suffering a bit. But she basically said that it's going to become less severe in the second half of 2022. That is good news for everyone that is a nerd. I don't think I have to say anything. Thanks for finding out all this information. It's fun to geek out. What I love this. Like, we're gonna get into this later, but like, I really like doing this, guys. This is really fun. Like, even if I'm not completely right, I mean, you guys understand a lot of this is like speculation. I do my best to speculate accurately, but at the end of the day, it's still like I'm sure y'all know that. But I have a really good time. Like, this is a very fun passion right now for me. So yeah, this is just a small thing. Chip shortage has a end in sight. All right, the last stream I did was was Facebook Disconnect 2021. If you were there, we were basically just kind of sitting there and like shit posting about Facebook being down and like the end of Oculus, and obviously I mean we all knew it was gonna come back up, but it was a fun stream. I had a really fun time. But Facebook has since that downage updated about what happened and confirmed what things that we were hearing that was spread around. They basically confirmed a lot of those weird things. The biggest thing I want to highlight here is we talked about oh wait, this is not the full. Hold up. Is this it? Hold on. Oh, here we go. More details. So they go in to talk about like literally that this started with basically a incorrect debug command. Apparently it was accidental. Who knows? I mean, there's a lot of weird stuff going on Facebook. It wouldn't surprise me if there was some sort of disgruntled employee pretty angry about what has been coming out about Facebook recently, and then just typed a command on a very powerful computer and started a cluster of chaos. But I mean, I guess Facebook can be trusted, right? This was an accident. This was not on purpose because, you know, whatever. But they did confirm some things, such as when this happened, a lot of employees literally could not communicate with each other due to the normal memes, because usually they would use literal internal Facebook communication features to talk to each other, right? Well, that was down. But not only that, they also confirmed that they literally, a lot of these engineers that were sent to the building to get this problem fixed, they basically confirmed they could not actually get into the building because of they have high security protocols and like key cards. So they were literally locked out of the building because their building was using their servers that were down. which is the most funny thing of all. I guarantee that some windows were broken that day. Like, if you think about it this way, they can't get the key cards to work because the servers are down, and there's some nice windows here. I guarantee that the Facebook managers are just screaming at their employees to break down those windows because they're losing so much money per hour. And like, a window can be replaced, but all that revenue from the ads not being up, yeah. All right. Hi, Webhead. Hi, everyone. They just had to delete on the... I don't know about that one. I just think it was... I think it's more likely that it wasn't an accident, but like, whatever. It still was pretty funny that day. Don't you use stereoscopic 3D and VR with one screen? The biggest issues with one screen for stereoscopic VR is you don't have a huge... You have to use a digital IPD. And because you have only one screen, the amount of IPD adjustments you can have is very limited. That's pretty much the biggest problem with one screen for VR. Alright, here's a cool thing related to Facebook. Now that a lot of people have realized, wow, it's pretty crazy that if Facebook servers go down, a lot of my things on my device just will not work. That kind of sucks. Well, finally, this is from Basti. It's from Basti, right? Yeah, you know Basti. We've been talking about Basti a lot recently. Basti564. He's been doing a lot of the useful firmware digging. And he basically published the first tool to remove Facebook from your Quest 2. That being said, you still need a Facebook account to set up the device in the first place. So, and you need to give Facebook a phone number and credit card details because you have to sideload this application onto your Quest 2. And to activate sideloading, you have to kind of tie real life details to a dev account, basically. And you'll lose access to the Oculus Store and a lot of other Facebook services. So yeah, you do remove your Facebook account, but it basically becomes an offline only device at that point. But baby steps. This is still like the first usable. Do you guys remember when the Quest 2 first came out? There was a bounty. There was a bounty set out for anyone that could successfully jailbreak the Quest 2. And there was like a couple people that came out and said, "We did it. Where's our money?" Well, they didn't actually do it. they didn't actually do it. They were just trying to scam the bounty, basically. But yeah, we haven't really had anything since then. So, oh, this is actually from the end of 2020. There, look how it's so funny how I talk about stuff related to people, and they show I love this. It's like, I wish that would happen for Deckard, right? I start talking about Deckard, and then all of a sudden there'd be like an announcement or something about like Gaben joins my chat and is like, "You're right." That would be nice. I don't trust a random program like that. What if something goes wrong and it bricks my Quest 2? Then you're probably not the person that this application is meant for, to be fair. Which is nothing wrong with you. Alright, so I wanted to show off some cool videos. I've been talking a lot about Imagine Optics, right? If you don't know who Imagine Optics are, they're the company that almost guaranteed that Valve is using for their next headset. Even Ars Technica said I was on the right track with their lenses. Like, they basically confirmed that all my research on Imagine Optics were pretty much correct. A lot of people have been asking me, though, how do Imagine Optics lenses look? Are they Fresnel and stuff? And while I don't have any good videos of Imagine Optics lenses from them, I found a video of another company that makes basically the same thing. And you might find this really cool. This actually explains how the varifocal would be done with Imagine Optics lenses. That being said, though, they're only showing off one layer of a lens. But let me just go through this video real quick. This is really cool. I think you'll like this a lot.
Quarter wave plate. As you can see here.
So this is basically what you're seeing here. This is the light in one configuration. So I'm sorry. I want to explain things before I show off. So each layer of a lens like this will have two states, basically an on or off. They use liquid crystal polarizers, and they can turn them on or off. Depending on these states is when you can actually change the focal point of that singular lens. But when you stack them, you can have a much greater range of different focal points. But this is a great demo showing how light works. Before, this was one focal point where the light would actually reach this one point, but when they change the polarization, it spreads. Because that's all, like, when your eyes are focusing on something, basically that's what's happening in your real life, is the light is just hitting your eyes differently. Your retina is changing the way the light hits your eyes. But I'm going to get some actual videos of how this looks. These lenses look. So these are what people like to call flat lens. Do you guys see any Fresnel in these lenses? And you can even see this person showing with no polarization. This is no polarization. And you can see both focal points on at the same time with this one layer of lens. You can see this one, the farther point, and if it was activated, you can also see the zoomed in point all at once. This is a great video demo. This is a great video demo. I was so happy when I found this. I had to show you people right away because so many people were asking me questions about these lenses. And yeah, very, very nice lenses. There was one video I found of Imagine Optics lenses. Let me see if I can find it. That are actually from Imagine Optics. Here we go. But this is pretty blurry. I'm sorry, but this is literally the best I could find. So here's a very thin lens that can bend as well. You can bend the lens because it's flexible and it still keeps the actual circular pattern that would be best for, you know, a VR display to see. And this is clearly like a very small screen, that's being magnified very well. So I thought that was cool. Stop, you are hyping me up. Well, this is what I'm good at, right? I'm good at hyping. I get hyped, so I'm gonna share my hype. I love your scientific approach in VR. If you stay working with Thrill Seeker, I will always be working on this channel, people. Do not worry. I already discussed that with Thrill Seeker. I will always have time to make, because think about it this way, right? Let's say, for example, Thrill Seeker Media Group gets a new headset in office, right? Me and him both work together to test up the headset and figure everything out. We make a video for that channel. Well, as soon as that video's done, I can give my own take on it, right? On my channel, because again, I pretty much did all the work for his channel. I did all the testing. Now I can give my boring approach to it on my channel. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, Twitch got hacked apparently. Oh, I did want to talk about that. Yeah, we'll talk about that. I don't earn that much on Twitch though, so I'm not too worried. But we will talk about that. I want to still talk about the lenses. So yeah, another thing I want to talk about the lenses. Remember I was saying that a unknown company invested in this company in 2020 with $5 million, which is the max that that company could invest with. And so I didn't have any idea of who the company was. I just know that whoever invested, that company, them coming to Imagine Optics really bothered Valve, is all I knew. And that's what caused a huge lawsuit, because I think Valve was maybe worried that this new company was going to take over their supply line. That, again, they prepared since 2018. And that would have sucked for Valve. But there might be some new... I haven't done too much research because, again, I am a little bit on vacation. But I want people to start it. I want to kind of talk about this a little bit, because I think this story, the more I actually do find stuff about this story, the more interesting it gets to me. Because it was already a very cool story without knowing any idea of who the $5 million investor was. But I'm starting to think that maybe we do know who the $5 million investor is. This is a patent talking about display systems with geometrical phase lenses. Do you know that video I was just showing you guys? That video of the lenses that were changing the focal point? Do you know what those are? Those are geometrical phase lenses with polarizers. And do you know what this patent that was filed last year after the company that funded literally like a month or two after I can't believe this. Literally a month or two after Imagine Optics received that $5 million investor. This is very similar. This is very similar, if not exactly similar, to the Imagine Optics geometric phase lenses. Very similar. And anyone who does not know about Apple... Okay, so first I gotta give some background. you might have heard. I don't know if any of you guys watched Tyler McVicker, but I know a couple years ago he talked about. He reported about a lot of Valve employees after the Index came out were either either left the company or were fired. Right, hardware employees. They would end up being replaced by new hardware employees, but a lot of those old Valve hardware employees, guess which company a lot of them went to? Guess which ones they went to? Apple. A lot of them went to Apple, seriously. And if you think of it this way, if they left the company around 2019 when the Index came out, and Valve started working with Imagine Optics in 2018, a year before the Index came out, it's very possible that some of these employees saw this Imagine Optics company and what they were doing, and when they moved over to Apple, they were like, hey, this Imagine Optics company that Valve is looking into, we got to get in that as soon as we can. So, like, it makes a lot of sense to me that Apple might be the company that invested $5 million. Like, honestly. And it would make sense why Valve would be so terrified of this $5 million investor. Like, honestly, if it was a small company that invested the $5 million, like a weird startup, sure, whatever. Like, why would Valve care to sue Imagine Optics? But Apple's a big company, and there's some history with a lot of employees that work on the VR team at Apple. So, yeah, that's a pretty solid grounds for a lawsuit. Exactly. I don't think they're trying to halt the progress. You know, when I see this, I think the Apple VR headset might actually have varifocal lenses too, guys. Because guess what? Varifocal, remember we were talking all about how these lenses, they work best with OLED, micro OLED? Well, Apple has been already suggested that they're also going to use micro OLED in their Apple headset, which would be the perfect combination with these lenses. So it wouldn't surprise me if not only Valve released a headset with varifocal lenses, I bet you Apple as well might look into that. So we might have multiple varifocal lenses next year in products. So then also a lot of employees left the Tilt 5 near the release. I don't know if they left during Tilt 5 has been so I don't know about I don't know too much about Tilt 5. I just know that was it Jerry Ellsworth, I think her name is. She wanted to do VR or not VR. She wanted to do AR for a while. Like since like 2013 when Valve was first looking into like artificial reality, right? But Valve chose the VR route. And you know that's okay. They worked very well with Jerry and yeah, but she wanted to work on AR, so she left the company and then started working on Tilt 5, which I think Tilt 5 is going to be an amazing product as well, because she is very talented, very smart, very smart. But I'm not sure if anyone since then from Valve left Valve to work on Tilt 5. I'm not sure. So. I really want to try a Tilt 5. That's going to be if you don't know what Tilt 5 is, let me look that up for you real quick, because there probably is a lot of people here that don't know what it is. It's very cool. It is, if you love, like, Dungeons and Dragons or any board game, it's literally, oh, that's loud.
Will join us later.
It's literally, a board that you put on a table. And you wear these glasses with these remotes, and you control. Okay, this is not a very good video. Oh, there she is. This is not a very good. Oh, here it is. This video is too much people and not enough what the point is. But yeah, AR board games basically. Cool concept. Okay, she was pushed out. See, I don't know much about the story. I know other people know about the story more than me. Anyway. Let's get on to the next thing that I want to talk about. So, I don't want to talk too much about it because it's next week, right? Next week is the Vive announcement, the HTC. So, let me pull that up, actually, because it's kind of important. How do I click? How do I? How do I? How do I? Hold on. There was a better web page, I swear. What? Where the flip is it? What the flip? Why is it closing? All right, well, that sucks. Very nice website. I just want to pull up the main website. Why is this so difficult? Oh my gosh, why is this so difficult, actually? All right, screw it then. Okay, thank you. All right, whatever. We'll just go with this. So, okay, so if you don't know, next week on next Thursday, HTC is poised to announce a new product. Probably called the Flow, because they keep mentioning Flow. Go with the Flow. First of all, a lot of people were thinking it's not even going to be a VR headset. Well, I can prove to you that it is going to be a VR headset very easily. Because look, when we go to the trademarks page for Vive Flow, which again, this is definitely what the product's going to be called, we can see what this trademark relates to, and it literally says here a head-mounted display. So it is going to be a display, like an HMD for something. I don't think it's going to be focused on gaming. Anyway, when we look at this picture, you see these two giant panels, right? These two giant panels. It's pretty obvious. Well, recently, last week or so, a new patent was published. And, yeah, it looks kind of similar to me. It's very small form factor. They've been posting a lot of these teaser images. And people have been saying, they've been very skeptical of these pictures. This is why a lot of people don't even think it's going to be a head-mounted display, which is very unwise. People think that it's literally impossible to fit a head-mounted display into something like this. You are going to see a lot of headsets next year with much smaller form factors than you are going to expect. You are probably gonna, when you first see a lot of these, you're probably gonna think they're complete scams. But they're not. The main reason why this is becoming more possible is because lens technology has caught up, and a lot of companies are going to use OLED micro displays, which makes form factors very small. Arapara is a great example. This is a tiny freaking headset. It's a tiny headset that uses OLED micro displays, except they're using a hard band. Whereas I believe whatever HTC is announcing, where did it go? They're not going to use a hard band. They're probably going to use like a rubber band or something, like a cloth band that snaps in, and then you can easily not fold the device, but just pack it into that tiny thing. And this whole patent talks about a design of a headset, and they even mention configure to generate an airflow flowing from the face side toward the heat dissipation hole. Because this whole patent is talking about a design that literally is designed for making airflow very comfortable for a user's face for long periods of time. I think what this is going to be designed for, personally, this is my guess. I think they're going to focus on very basic things, like a mixed reality goggles. So like camera pass-through maybe, but also very basic like VR tasks. Like basically, it's not going to be for gaming. It's not going to be for gaming, is what I'm trying to say. And they also at the same near at the same time they patented this. They patented this new UI, which is a very simple UI. And the way it works is you have this like this sort of lower bar here, and the user uses one controller to grab an option and drags it to the Vive port logo, and then when it drags here, the element will go up here, and then it'll either change to what I believe is a camera pass-through view. And then when you do it again, it'll change back to a VR view. I believe that's what this device is going to have, based on these two patents, honestly. Very, it might be 3DOF, honestly. It wouldn't surprise me if it's 3DOF. Because, again, they're only showing one controller in this, right? And, like, I think this device might actually be useful. Like, I'm not even kidding. I think there's a lot of value for small form factor devices that are not really focused on gaming, but other things. Like, even just, like, you know, like things like, you want to watch a movie with friends at night, you know, in VR. Or not even with friends, but just in general. Because VR is really cool because you can make a giant screen in front of your face, right? But the issue is a lot of VR headsets up until now have been heavy and large and uncomfortable to wear. But if we start seeing VR devices that are literally focused on basic tasks like that, like media viewers that are tinier, even tinier than Oculus Go, people are probably going to say, well, Oculus Go was good for that. But Oculus Go still had a lot of issues with the hardware and the lenses, and it wasn't very comfortable. But these new things with micro OLED displays are going to be a lot lighter and useful. Especially, again, if they do have, like, camera pass-through for some things. Isn't that a water ball, though? Well, that's what it looks like, right? But they're just showing this off now. Okay, look at another thing about these pictures. What's the one part of the body that all these pictures don't show off, right? What's the one part of the body that all these pictures don't show off, right? The face. Because they're wearing something on their face. And they probably had it stored. The feet, okay. That's true too. Alright, yeah, that's fair. Maybe it is a foot-mounted device. Maybe that's true. Maybe this is like a VR for your foot. That'd be pretty cool. Anyway, yeah, that's what I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be. I am going to stream the event next week, by the way, because I think it's interesting. I think these devices, if it's what I think it is, I think they're slightly interesting, and I think HTC. This is gonna be. Oh, another weird thing is they trademarked something else. Let me try to find it. Yeah, this is also a new thing they trademarked. They trademarked the name Vive Business. This is very interesting. They might be, okay, not splitting off their brand, but they might, to stop confusion for people and stop getting people excited, they might literally have some events under the Vive Business brand when they're releasing new products, and then under the Vive Consumer brand, also have events for that. Because remember when they announced the Focus 3, or getting ready to announce it, people were so angry when they announced the Focus 3 at the price, right? Because it was focused on business. So if they do something like this, at least that will educate people beforehand during the hype that, hey, it's not for consumers, right? Let's remove that confusion now. Would an ERP device have foot tracking? We've joked for a while that the next step in VR immersion is toe tracking. Toe tracking would be amazing in VR. You just get that virtual anime girl foot, and you just move those virtual toes. Oh my. I get you get poor performance when you're using Steam VR. Oh gosh, that could be a multitude of things. I don't even know what to tell you. All right, let's go on to the next topic. This thing is cool. This is like the most weird thing. I didn't think this could be possible. So Canon just announced what enthusiasts gone wild. So this is a booba lens system for cameras, Canon cameras. But what's really impressive about this is it can split up the... So for those who don't know how cameras like this work, they have one giant sensor, camera sensor, inside the actual body. And of course, they're designed to be used with a multitude of different lenses. But Canon has created a new lens that can split the one camera sensor into two for stereoscopic 180. Because normally you would need 2 camera sensors to do this. This is a very cool device. Like, I want to see how it works. I bet you there's some, like, it's obviously, in some ways, not going to be as good as having 2 camera sensors. But this seems a lot cheaper. And makes me wonder if someday we might see, like, headsets that use camera-based tracking. I wonder if they'll be able to, like, kind of learn from this and be able to split up their camera sensors into different lenses like this. With some software tooling. I think it's new. I think it's cool. Why did my music stop? That makes me mad. Okay. Alright. Anyway, it's a small thing. It's small. It's a small thing. But I think it's I think it's cool. Do they have a... Oh. I want to see, like... Oh, here we go. Yeah, look at this. This is really cool. Like, I would love to have a camera that did this. Especially if I had a Canon camera, but I don't. But, I still think it's really cool. Yeah. Fully cooling music? Next time. Alright, let's go on to the next topic. So, I've been kind of alluding to the fact that it's weird that, I saw some VR devs on Twitter get Steam Decks, right? Like Steam Deck dev kits. Because Valve has been saying over and over again that the device is not designed for VR uses right now, right? That's what they've been saying a lot. At the same time, there's been people that have been basically writing down all the different developers that publicly shown off they've gotten a Steam Deck dev kit. And there was mostly 2 patterns. The first pattern was, and this is the obvious pattern, they released a game that's at least within the top 1,000 games sold on Steam. That makes sense, right? However, if they're not in the top 1,000, there's been a very certain group of developers that have been getting Steam Deck dev kits. And we got 1, 2, 3... Or wait, I think, hold on, let me check if they're a VR dev. I don't think they're a VR dev. Okay. I'm just trying to say, a lot of VR devs are getting Steam Deck dev kits, even though they're not in the top 1,000 of games sold. So it's very interesting to think, like, why, right? Well, if we talked about my Friday stream, it's because I think Valve is looking into using split rendering to be able to plug a Deckard into a Steam Deck to make it possible. Because Valve might be saying, okay, yeah, the Steam Deck can't handle all the processes on the deck itself, but hey, if you pair it with a specially designed Qualcomm chip, maybe it's a little bit easier to drive VR, especially with developer intervention and them porting their games to be better. So I always wonder, I put on my tinfoil hat and I wonder if, like, a lot of these devs are getting Steam Deck dev kits that are VR devs, especially Cloudhead Games. I wonder if they have a Deckard in their office as well, like a prototype right now. Like, I literally think that every waking moment of the day. Yeah. Okay. I think that's pretty much all the news topics I wanted to talk about. You didn't receive one, but I'm not a game dev per se. Oh, guy. I was wondering if you got a Steam Deck. That's unfortunate. Did you? I'm sure you applied, right? Gary Newman? Yeah, Gary Newman got a Steam Deck, but he's like, Gary's mod's like top 23 sold on Steam, so that makes sense. Lynx? Oh yeah, Lynx. Well, we'll talk about Lynx. I'm actually very impressed with Lynx. Lynx is a mixed reality headset that actually already reached its goal in the first day. Good for them. Like, holy crap. I did not actually think they were going to reach their goal in the first day. Honestly. Good for them. Again, they're mixed reality. They have some really weird lenses. That's the one thing I'm very curious about. They use an XR2. But look at these lenses are so weird. They're so weird. I've never seen anything else use lenses like that. They're like a weird, I don't even know what to call them. But yeah, they're focused on mixed reality. So like stuff like this, camera pass through, mixed reality. Which a lot of headsets though I think are going to start having this as a feature, but still good for them. They're a France-based company. So if you're French, there's a company here that is representing you in the VR hardware scene. So yeah, very, very well done. And the best part about Lynx that I like about them is literally one of their one of their like most advertised features is they don't collect data. I really like that. And what the headset's like $500, right, for the basic? Yeah, about $500. So I mean, and this is not like this is not really focused on gaming, guys. This is just a mixed reality headset. It can do like some gaming stuff, but it doesn't even have controllers that come with it. Like they didn't design controllers that come with it. It's just purely for MR. It's $500, and they funded it. So when people say that there's no market right now for things that aren't heavily subsidized, this is honestly a very niche product, I feel. Very, very niche product. So honestly, this headset is a very good sign for the state of VR, I think, more than a lot of other things, if people are willing to invest into this. So good for them. It does hand tracking, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they did lose eye tracking, yeah. But like that's clearly a an issue related to cutting down costs to make this consumer, because originally this device was expensive and they were going to target executive market. Excuse me. But when they realized that there might be a consumer market that are interested in this device, they cut out a lot of features such as eye tracking. So yeah, very cool. All right, I think that's it, right? Is there any other news that I should cover? I don't. I called the stream VR news that I only cared about. I'm glad you brought up Lynx, because Lynx is an important thing. Anything else? Lynx has controller tracking, but you need to buy controllers, special controllers, and I don't even think the controllers that they're advertising are the best, to be completely honest. But again, great job. I'm very happy for this product. Very happy. Oh yeah, Twitch. There was one thing I wanted to mention about the Twitch. Twitch was hacked and like a ton of things were given out. I'm not going to talk about that. This has been a crazy week, guys, for a lot of big companies, right? We had Facebook, and now Twitch, which is Amazon, had a big problem. But yeah, this is pretty crazy. But some more interesting things from this leak is Amazon was apparently working on something called Vapor, which was they were going to make their own Steam competitor, or an Epic Games launcher, or Epic Games Store competitor. And well, that's leaked now, so that kind of sucks for the surprise. But even more interesting than that, they were wanting to release, or they've been working on a game in Unity called Vape World. Okay, I doubt that's going to be the final name. Which they think that it might be a sort of VR chat type, like a VR chat clone built by Twitch and Amazon. Which that is, because look, it's called Metaverse in the folder. That is incredibly interesting. It makes me wonder if Amazon right now, because I've always been thinking that, like, you know, a lot of these big companies are just watching the VR scene, and they're just waiting for the perfect moment to hop in with their huge amount of money. And if Amazon's going to release a stupid robot whatever it was called. I don't remember what it's called. If Amazon's willing to invest resources into releasing something stupid like this, I guarantee they're willing to release like a VR headset one day. Under the Twitch branding, maybe. That'd be weird. A VR headset under the Twitch branding? Yeah. Bro, I'm getting baked in Vape World. I just want to see what the link. I'll probably try. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I know mixed reality content is going to be big, and that seems to be what Apple is gonna be focused on with their VR headset, is like mixed reality or AR through camera pass through. But until I'm not very. I guess because I'm a gamer, I don't know. I don't really care much yet until things start getting really crazy with that. I do see a lot of value in being able to have, like, what if VR chat supported mixed reality devices, and instead of having people join your world in VR chat, you could literally map your room to where people that join you their avatars would be in your real life view. That would be crazy. That would be so crazy. I want that. That sounds so cool. Anyway, one final thing. I have to talk about this. I'm not going to talk about it too long. So, on Reddit, there was this weird post. I'm not going to talk too much about it. But they were basically warning people about my speculations. And, that they don't believe a lot of things I'm saying are right. And they work at clearly they work at a competing hardware company. And yeah, they used a throwaway account, and literally after they caused this huge mess, they deleted their account. And I don't want to talk too much about it, but like it really gives me paranoia. Like, I get a little paranoid when I see stuff like this. I'm not even gonna lie. Because this person with a throwaway account wrote this huge thing that honestly looks like it was written by a psychologist, because it literally felt like it was designed to make people, to get people crazy against me. Like, literally, it just feels very crazy. I don't know what company they're from. They do bring up some good things, but like, yeah, I do not like this, especially and then they deleted their account afterwards. And what scares me the most is this thread got 200 points, which is pretty good on the virtual reality subreddit. And it got most people. I have to be very thankful. Most people were very kind and realized that, hey, I am doing my best. I am only one person. I am not an engineer, but I worked hard. If you were one of those people that supported me in this thread, thank you. I really appreciate it, because this thread kind of made me feel sad yesterday. Like, I was pretty bummed out yesterday. But there of course were some people that read this whole thing, and they got incited to be upset at me and like say very mean things. And it just scares me that you never know what other players in the hardware industry are seeing my videos about either their products or other companies' products that I'm researching about them. That's because honestly, my videos, or my stream especially, it's got a lot of people stopped caring about what Oculus leaks were and started caring what Valve is working on, right? And a lot of people have been saying all around the internet, I'm just going to wait for Deckard or whatever. So I think this was literally a planned thing to get people to discredit my hours, my months of research, just so people will be like, well, he's wrong, and like the Deckard doesn't exist or whatever and stuff. So yeah, it was very it was one of the weirdest things that's ever happened to me. When I've been doing YouTube for actually years. I took a long break in between when I first started doing YouTube and coming back to it. And the reason is, whenever something big happens, you get really weird things like this popping up related to you. And if you're not in a positive mental state, it will make you feel crazy. So, yeah. Yep. It was very creepy. Like, it really makes you scared. I will say, the stuff that he's been talking about for micro OLED, is so very wrong. I will swear by the fact that micro OLED will be in so many products next year, and the fact that he's discrediting micro OLED, very weird. Very weird. If Facebook only announced a LCD panel headset next month, I don't know. I don't want to put my tinfoil hat for this thread, but it's a very weird thread. Anyway, that's pretty much it. I am a Valve shill, though. So, yeah. Can I talk a little bit about Decagear? There's not much to talk about. Decagear, I love what Decagear's working on. I think it's great. But they've waited too long. And I think by the time they release the headset to people, it's just not as exciting as if they released it earlier this year. So that's the problem. They have really cool ideas for Decagear, but it's a little too late. Inciting anger against someone, they sound like Facebook. Again, I really feel like this was way too written with a psychological twist to it. So, all right, guys, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about. Thank you, everyone. Imagine having a green screen and not only use it. Well, that requires having the angle of my camera right and having some studio lights on. And I live in Florida and it's really hot, so I don't want to do that. So, yeah. Thanks, everyone. I hope you learned some stuff. We had some pretty cool topics. I think I kind of want to do this whenever cool news happens. I like doing these streams because I need to get better at reading the chat while I'm talking about topics. The problem with me right now is I'm not very good at streaming because I kind of get into this machine gun mode of talking, and it makes it hard for me to read chat, but I will get better the more I do this. So, yeah, the VOD will be uploaded right after this stream ends. So, bye, guys. I hope you have a great day. Again, next week will probably be the next stream when the Vive announcements come out, and we'll see how my I barely put any research in what Vive might be working on, but I think it's probably what I said, and we'll see. So that's like the fun thing about doing predictions, is like when the events come out, I can literally compare what I predicted and see how right they are with my audience, with you guys. That's so fun. That's honestly so much fun. All right, bye. Bye for real.